Almost May. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Amoskeag Northern. This is the April 2022 layout update, and we're going to look at a couple things that I've been working on over the last month. As I said previously, the warmer months, outdoor projects tend to take precedence, so the larger projects are few and far between, but I've been working on some smaller ones, and it's mostly been like scenery and some just kind of getting some structures situated as to where I want them on the layout. The signal right here, this is another one of the WeHonest signals. It's their new fine scale signal series. And this is a triple target searchlight, which was actually based off of the Boston and Maine's triple target at the end of the air mass platform over at the MBTA station. Now, that spacing is an odd spacing. It is only for that location. So that's why it kind of looks a little weird. My buddy Matt, who works in signals over at B&M, Pan Am, he has been sending them some diagrams so that they can actually redo the signal or add it to their signal line so it actually has the appropriate signal spacing. That way we'll be able to get those. And now I do have STL files where I can make my own searchlights, and it comes out pretty cheap, but when you factor these are like between $17 and $22 shipped, you really can't beat it, and it kind of eats in onto your ability cost-wise to do it yourself. I mean, it probably cost me $5 to get everything I needed to print one signal and then put it together. But for, $10, $15 more, it's a little bit more robust and pre-built. So I'm probably going to end up going that route. I might still use the STL files that I have for some other locations. Like I do have the dwarfs as an STL file. I can print those out. I'll probably still do those on my own. But I continue working on over here at the old Mandrake Falls station. I'm kind of working in this little spot right here, so I end up putting in a bridge. This is made with 3D printed parts and Atlas O-scale through truss bridge parts, and this is kind of representative of a lot of those overbuilt bridges that you saw from like the late 50s to up through the early and mid 60s, where everything just had that really large steel structure, and then some of your concrete abutments and whatnot for like 4-lane roads and whatnot. So this is going to be a 4-lane road that goes into downtown Mandrake Falls, and it just crosses over the tracks here. And then we have a couple buildings in the shadow of it. I've got local mom and pop convenience grocery store right here. And then I'm working on if I want to really keep this here. This was like a restored freight station. Like there used to be a stub end siding in here for the freight station, and then maybe they have, like the whole historical society has a restored boxcar. I haven't really decided as to if that's going to stay or not. I mean, you've got the brick station, and then you have a wooden freight station. It kind of looks odd. I mean, there are some examples for it. The Laconia station, which was a stone station in New Hampshire, it was a stone station, and then the freight house was your standard B&M wooden clapboard. So I don't know. We'll kind of look at that. It may stay, it may go. I don't know. Nothing's really permanent at this point with it. Then on the other side of the bridge, look at building been working on this additional neighborhood over here using some of the company houses. So they're in their base colors right now. They're just going to end up getting those finished up and working on the scenery that kind of just gets it all fit in. Market Basket has disappeared just temporarily, is on the other side of the layout, still in its rather plain state. So I guess you can say nothing has changed with Market Basket other than it is currently not at its scheduled location. And with the upper fascia, I've been working on the backdrop right here. That has been finished around 3/4 of the layout. And then there's going to be an upper fascia that comes down and kind of creates a shadow box look on the layout. And that will end up having about 18 to 22 inches of visible layout. And for most people in like the 5-foot to 6-foot range, that'll give you a really nice shadow box look. If you're a little bit taller than the 6 foot, you kind of have to look down on the layout just a little bit, but I don't think we're going to run into too many issues there, seeing how I'm 5'8". So the plan is once the upper fascia comes down, I'm end up going to use Trofer acrylic panels, and they'll mount to some brackets that are on the back of the backdrop to kind of give it a little bit of a light diffusion from the overhead lighting and just kind of finish that up so your eye is not drawn into that if you tend to be a little bit shorter and you can see up into the upper valance. So the scenery continues along Interstate 493. Been working on repainting some of the hinges into the Amoskeag Northern scheme, other than the larger power. Everything's been getting ESU sound in it and TCS motherboards. I have all the TCS motherboards, the ESU sound for my stuff, and I got a bunch of customer projects that are just delayed right now due to supply chain issues, but they've been coming here and there. In Amoskeag Yard, I ended up picking up quite a few of the Bachmann. There's some more here, but I got 4 of them right here, and then some additionals of the Bachmann Amfleet cars. I ended up getting those for a hell of a deal, and I ended up getting a new Genesis P42 and Amtrak. So this was a factory screw up. The trucks or the frame are in the they're not in that anthracite gray. They're in the silver for the original as delivered paint scheme. So I kind of got a deal on this as a factory screw up, and these are kind of hard to find right now, and as long as you don't want to wait for the new run that's supposed to come out in 2023. So I ended up ordering some paint. I'll just end up repainting the frame. I think Vallejo anthracite gray is going to be a close enough match. It looks like it matches on the paint chips from the Amtrak official paint standards, but we'll see how that is. So, working on the pad a little bit here in Amoskeag Yard so that the company that does the plastic pellet transload can get their trucks in here. Kind of give it a little bit of a pretty good base in there, and then up to the maintenance away shops so they can work in there for the local equipment. And that's pretty much all that's happened right now. I ended up picking up an air eraser to try doing some soda blasting of some lettering off of some engines and whatnot. This is just kind of everything on the west end of the layout is just really kind of turned into a cluster right now where, like I said, the summer months, everything just kind of gets tossed on layout. Like, this is a project, I'll just put it here, and then I moved on. So that stuff is kind of where it needs to be, but it's just sitting there. So do have the station here at Mandrakes Falls, the Union Station. Nothing's really changed other than the track work. We have got the track work finally situated over here at the interlocking. So this is all finished now. Finally got this interlocking all taken care of where the Boston line comes up and meets with the Chicago line, and then also the Guilford Pan Am trackage comes in for interchange. Our steam program has also started as well. I'm working on rebuilding a brass, this is a Boston and Maine R1D. So that's been kind of a project. I've been looking for one of these or a mudsucker for a while. One of these came up on eBay at a really, really good price, so I ended up picking that up. And so it's currently getting a new motor, new springs, all of the drivetrain was rebuilt, so now it operates really smoothly, and then it's going to get a TCS steam wow sound in it. And then this is kind of like where I've ended up stopped working on the backdrop. So here we had the photo backdrop from the earlier part of the layout. I really didn't like it. I mean, the quality from trackside scenery is really good. I probably ended up picking the wrong one. Kind of wanted the horizon to be a little bit lower. This one, the horizon is way up there. So as you can see, basically when I would have the upper valance on the upper fascia board, you wouldn't be able to see it, so it'd just be constant trees. And I kind of wanted you to be able to see that rolling hill. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to end up putting blue paint along the backdrop for the entire layout. So like I said, we've got about 3/4 of the backdrop done right now. And then I'll probably end up cutting out a photo backdrop and being able to lower it. I may get one from Trackside Scenery. I may end up shooting my own. We'll kind of see what goes from there. But these are really good backdrops. Like I said, I really, really like them. It turned out to be, I was the mistake. So they didn't work out the way I had pictured it. I probably should have picked like an N scale one. So it would come up to about maybe yay high, and then you would have the sky above it. I know he has some other ones where they're down a little bit more, but they're still pretty high up here. These are 24-inch ones. Yeah, I think these are either 24-inch backdrops. So, I mean, you're only talking about what, 2 inches from the top of the photo paper to where I would probably want it to be like 6 or 8 down. Kind of give you a little bit more of a resemblance of distance. So that's what we've been working on for the last month. We'll hope to see some more in the May 2020 update or 2022 update. Hoping to get a little bit more done than I did this past month, and we'll hope to see you guys then. Just keep following along on the Facebook page. Like I said, we get more updates on that. Usually I post daily on that as to what I've been tinkering with, and you get a little bit of a preview of probably what's going to be coming up in the next video. But thanks, guys.